Welcome to Soul Tales Daily, where simple stories echo deep emotions, joy, sorrow, greed, and glimpses of humanity. Stay a while, maybe you'll find yourself in one of them. Right finger hit subscribe and make every day a story to remember. Dizzy. There was a black woman who stood there silently watching me sob, her eyes filled with tears, just because of a box of sticky rice. What happened that made me, a Vietnamese expatriate, collapse in the heart of this magnificent America? Sometimes, the most precious thing is not the most delicious food, but just a dish that encapsulates the taste of home, a small handful of sticky rice. And the moment we realize the sacred value of sharing, is the moment our life is watered and changed forever. Sometimes, the most precious thing is not the most delicious food, but just a dish that encapsulates the taste of home, a small handful of sticky rice. And the moment we realize the sacred value of sharing, is the moment our life is watered and changed forever. I decided to step out into the street, to take my last fateful walk. The sunset cast a languid, sad yellow over the familiar streets, but my heart was empty and gloomy like a patch of gray in the midst of a brilliant paradise. I passed by a small Vietnamese bakery. I stopped, captivated by the warm yellow lights and steaming boxes of sticky rice. I spent most of my remaining money on the plane ticket. After a fierce mental struggle over my last few pennies, I walked in. My hands trembled as I opened the old leather wallet. Ma'am, I bought a box of sticky rice, the smallest portion. Just some fried onions and peanuts is enough. My voice was weak, trying to hide the shame of having to consider every penny, having to choose the most frugal portion of sticky rice. The atmosphere suddenly became tense. Linh, the woman standing right behind me, was a very successful-looking Vietnamese expatriate, neatly dressed, exuding absolute confidence. Judgment was written all over her face as soon as she realized I was trying to buy the cheapest food. Linh let out a long sigh, condescending and full of annoyance. Her eyes swept over me, carrying obvious contempt, as if my poverty was a virus that was tainting the business atmosphere here. Linh, seller, please hurry up a bit. Don't waste time just for such a cheap box of sticky rice. People still have to go to work, have to be on time. Linh's words were as cold as a shapeless knife, piercing straight into my heart. At that moment, I felt humiliated by my own countrymen. The pain of failure, loneliness in a foreign land, and that shame surged strongly. I bowed my head, silently swallowed my tears, mumbled a thank you, then hugged that simple, precious sticky rice box tightly, and hurriedly ran out of the shop. Tears began to fall profusely. I found a mossy bench in a nearby park where maple leaves were falling like yellow butterflies. I sat down, collapsed in silence. My tears fell onto the hot sticky rice box. It was the only comfort food I could buy, my last hope. Sobbing, even if I tried to buy it with my own money, I would still be looked down upon. It turns out, even a handful of sticky rice can't easily bring peace. Suddenly, I felt a warm, non-judgmental gaze. It was Eleanor, a middle-aged black woman with dark brown skin, short, curly black hair, and a kind, austere face. She wore a simple purple cleaning staff uniform. She stood still, looking at me with eyes filled with the infinite understanding of someone who had experienced. Eleanor, soft, warm voice. How are you, girl? Are you okay? Tears shouldn't be shed over food, it's too wasteful and not worth it. I just shook my head, choking up. Eleanor slowly sat down next to me, opened her lunch bag. Then she did something unexpected, an action that made me burst into tears. She placed the hot, fragrant bag of char, her precious lunch, next to my box of vegetarian sticky rice. The contrast between the two hands, one white, one black, and the two dishes, one noble, one humble, suddenly became brilliant in the evening light. Eleanor, eyes warm as embers, conveying sympathy. I don't know if your sticky rice is enough, but I know the taste of lonely days and frugal meals in a foreign land. Don't cry over a meal, girl. Let it be your warmest and most filling meal. I looked at Eleanor. In her wrinkled eyes, I saw a boundless ocean of sympathy. A stranger, not the same skin color, not the same language, had seen my deepest pain and used her noble actions to soothe it. Choking. You don't have to do that. You won't have enough to eat. Eleanor, firm, powerful voice. We are all immigrants in this land, girl. Eat. Tomorrow is a new day, wherever you are. There is one thing no one can take away from your life. The dignity and humanity you carry with you. I was you once, I understand. We shared a meal of sticky rice and char, under the last sunlight of the day. It was the most delicious, warmest meal, with the taste of pure humanity, more precious than any food in America. The next day, I boarded the plane. I no longer felt hopeless. The box of sticky rice was gone, but the warmth of that handful of char and Eleanor's unconditional kindness had become the most precious spiritual baggage. I knew I would return, stronger and more peaceful than ever, because the light of human love had been lit in my heart. A peaceful life is not about having everything you want, but finding peace in your soul, even in the most extreme adversity. Kindness does not require great material things, just understanding and sincere sharing, regardless of race or status. It is human love that guides us through all the storms of life, helping us live a peaceful life. If this story has lit a flame of hope and tolerance in your heart, please click the subscribe